Okay. Well, while I'm waiting for that to update. Okay, looks like it's updated. Thank you, High Spirits. First, I'm gonna put an emote here. I would like to see a lot of this emote for maximum enjoyment. The more you use this emote, the better the run experience will be, I feel like. So please use it. Anyways, this is Disgaea 5. My name is GreenZSaber. This is pretty much my main speed game this year. I've spent a lot of time trying to route this game, and well, this is the result. I feel like it's finally ready to show off at the marathon, and what better channel to do so than RPG Limit Break channel. So before we begin, I'd like to tell everybody what Disgaea is. For those of you who don't actually know what the speedrun entails or what the game series is about. So Disgaea is basically a series of strategy RPGs, turn-based strategy RPGs made by Nippon Ichi Software. And it's basically like Fire Emblem, except it's more over the top and grindier. But the thing is, this run is under 90 minutes. Yes, that is actually not a joke. I've found a way to actually complete this run consistently in under 90 minutes, and the thing about this run is it's also not a glitch run at all. There are 0 glitches used in this run. And we're just going to be using everything the game throws at us to play the game super fast. Now, I'm going to be doing a lot of... This run is pretty much all action, so if I miss something in chat, forgive me, because I'm going to be pretty much playing the whole time. And before I begin this run, the first thing I need to do is to get the correct settings, which allows me to play the game at the maximum possible speed. And it looks like we're good. So this is the Switch version I'm playing. It's faster than the PS4 version by at least a minute. And I should say that the PS4 version is actually on sale on PlayStation Network for 20 bucks. $16 if you have PlayStation Plus. So maybe this run might convince you to buy the game afterwards. Who knows? Okay, I've said all this. I'm just gonna start the run now, and 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so where to start? There's gonna be a lot of stuff to talk about in this run. So I will be clearing well over 100 stages in this speed run. Yes, that is not a joke. So the game starts off fairly simple. First, I'm pretty much gonna be using nothing but normal attacks for this first part. Because that's pretty much all we start out with. And here, this is the character selection screen. And I'm gonna be making a total of 4 warriors for utility purposes. They can be male or female as long as they're warriors. Okay, so that's our 4th warrior. Now, the thing about this game is it's not actually a very RNG heavy speedrun at all. There are a few sections where RNG does play a little factor, but for the most part it only cost me a few seconds. But unfortunately, since we are going to be completing so many stages, they do add up over time if I lose too many seconds. But the estimate is really safe. My best time on this speedrun is 78 minutes. So regarding RNG, there is some RNG in this particular episode in the form of counterattacks, and damage rolls. So every time my character gets hit, he has a chance to counterattack, and if he doesn't counterattack, I lose a few seconds. I want to see as many counterattacks as I can, as my character can do, which is 2. And this one doesn't have a cutscene. All cutscenes are skippable in this game, which is really nice. This game, I feel like, embodies everything we're looking for in an RPG speedrun. Skippable cutscenes, very fast animations, very little RNG, just pure execution. Or mostly execution. A good 90% of this speedrun is execution. Okay, so this is the final episode in this, final stage in this episode. There are a total of 16 episodes in this game story with 5 stages per episode. So there's 80 main story stages we gotta clear to actually beat the story. And then we're gonna do some side stages as well. Okay, so that's the first episode. So that was about 3 minutes for the first episode. So you can see this should give you an idea of just how fast this game can be. Okay, before we start the next episode, we gotta buy some stuff. So I'm gonna buy some equipment here, and then here I'm gonna go buy an ability called Mean Guy. Abilities are basically like passive abilities you equip to your character. And Mean Guy, what that does is increase the attack growth every time you level up.
Where would you like to go, dude?
And we are actually going to need that to secure one-hit kills on certain enemies in this episode. Okay, so this stage is where we are introduced to geo effects. Those glowing colored panels have various effects, and this one makes my character kind of overpowered, so he just kills everything in one hit basically. Alright. So here we want our main character, Salia, to get to level 8 after we kill the first 3 enemies here. So he should get level 8 really soon. Okay, I'm gonna have to use an item here. Okay, there we go. So he needs to get level 8 to learn this skill, Exploding Tiger, which is an ice elemental skill. And I need that because of these slimes here. These slimes are very resistant to physical attacks, but very weak to elemental attacks. So obviously having an ice or any form of elemental skill will allow us to kill these slimes in one hit. Alright, for this stage I need to heal up with healing items. I should talk about the story, I guess. The basic story, it's just a typical quote-unquote good versus evil, except this is the netherworld where most of the characters are, pretty much all the characters are demons, so it's kind of like a good demon versus a bad demon kind of thing. Basically, there's an evil Emperor, Void Dark, who is basically taking over all the netherworlds. And these characters have a grudge against him because he's taking over the netherworld. So they're all forming an alliance to stop him. That's basically the game story. Okay, so here I end my turn in a specific spot, and this causes these 2 imps to line up so I can hit both of them in one hit. So this is where we're gonna have to do some throwing action. I need to do this because there's a mage or a witch that's high up on the tower. So what I have to do is go here and destroy that red pyramid thing, which is a geo symbol. Right here I got a taste of the bad luck that is present in this particular episode. Okay, so when I destroy this geo symbol, it'll cause an explosion, which will... And it'll actually cause that witch to drop down from the tower. If I don't do that, she's just gonna stay where she's at. And I will not be able to kill her. Okay, he's low on HP, so I'm gonna heal up. So the main source of randomness in this particular episode are the zombies, because zombies from this stage and the stage right after, zombies have a chance of using a skill that has a chance to poison you. And poison, well, it's a very bad status effect to have, because poison basically takes away 20% of your max HP regardless of what your stats are or regardless of what your levels are. It doesn't matter what your stats or level are, you always take 20% your max HP, and looks like we're getting some bad luck here with the poison. Okay. As long as we don't get poison every turn, we're good. Okay, so I'm just gonna use the Blade Rush skill to attack these zombies. They are slightly weak to sword attacks. So each unit in this game has a specific elemental and weapon resistance, and I actually use that quite a bit in this run. It's a huge part of the routing actually. So this guy is the boss, so he's kind of weak to ice, so I'm just gonna attack him from behind. Attacking enemies from behind actually does more damage compared to the front. Okay, we're done with episode 2, and this is where the game starts to really open up, so we can see how I guess broken some of the mechanics can be. Okay, so right here, set his subclass to warrior, have him pass this bill, which is to get better items in the store. Okay, we got that, that's good. And let's see, we need to change this Prinny subclass to witch. Remember his name, which is go ahead and ask. It'll be important for later. Then I need to change this guy's subclass to a cleric, have him pass this bill, cheat and have it easy. Okay, both bills pass. Sometimes they will fail to pass, and that's a slight time loss. Okay, here I'm gonna go equip buy poison vaccine and tough guide. So now Killia's gonna be immune to poison, so we're not gonna have to worry about the poison killing us anymore. Then we're gonna buy some equipment here. Then we're gonna sell our stuff and buy some healing items. And we're ready to take on the next set of story maps. Alright. Okay. So this is where the main speed tech of this speed run comes in. And I'm gonna use it in a little bit right after these 3 units die. Okay, need one more turn for that. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna use the main speed tech. And let's see, here we go. This is squad attack. This is one of the most devastating skills in the entire game. So what it does is you target an enemy and it will actually hit every single enemy that's in the same squad as the enemy you targeted. So yes, it is as broken as it sounds. It doesn't matter where they are on the map either. As long as they're in the same squad, they will get hit. The thing with squad attack though is that it has a few restrictions. For one, you have to be a leader of a squad to use it. And you also need to be in a state called revenge mode. You also are limited to only 1 use per map. Each character can only use squad attack once per map. So I should explain revenge mode. Revenge mode is one of the new mechanics in Disgaea 5. And Basically, in order to use squad attack, you have to be in revenge mode. That right there is revenge mode. So you see right here, I use squad attack on one imp and all of the imps died.
Where would you like to go, dude?
So in order to get revenge mode, you can tell how close you are to revenge mode by, there's a little pink meter to the left of your character portrait that fills up whenever your character gets hit, whenever your allies get hit, or when your allies die. So see right here, the pink bar is filling up little by little, so I'm gonna get revenge mode in a bit, which is that burst of energy. Revenge mode only. So when you're in revenge mode, your critical hit rate becomes 100%, which basically means you get 50% extra damage, and you also take 25% less damage, and you can also use squad attack as well. So yeah, revenge mode is a very, very important part of the speed run, because we want to be able to control when we get revenge mode, and I will do that quite a few times in this run. So I should mention that every time we start a new episode, we enter a new... Okay, right here I target this specific enemy, and then it should kill off a healer that's on the very end of the map. So if I did it right, or if the damage rolls was in my favor, the healer should die, and I should not have to actually go all the way to the end of the map to beat her. Yes, and stage was cleared, so I did kill the healer with squad attack. Okay. So now we're gonna begin the most random part of the speed run, which is the item world. So most people who play Disgaea games will spend a lot of time in the item world. Not so much for this speed run. We only need to do what we need to do and get out. We're never gonna use the item world other than this. So our objective here is to level up this gate key to 10. And they change a little bit how leveling items work in this game. So you have to kill all of the enemies in the floor to gain 1 level for the item. And there are also random events that can help me increase the leveling process or expedite it. They are random, so we may not be able to see them. So our strategy is to just basically use regular attacks on single enemies, because using regular attacks is faster than using a skill. I will only use a skill when I can hit multiple enemies with it, just like this. Also, healing items are very powerful in this game. When you use a healing item, you actually gain 1/8 of the experience that you need to level up, regardless of what level you are. So you could theoretically just level up just by buying cheap healing items and spamming them at the same place, but it is kind of slow. And I'm hoping this run will show you some better grinding methods. Okay, so this is... Yeah, she's level 75. Oh shoot, I should have actually talked to her. She's a fortune teller, so, but she does have a chance of lowering my item's level, which is not cool. If we got that, we would have been in a really bad spot, so I'm just gonna not take it. Alright. So that could have been a good event to have. That also could have been a bad event. If I go for PB attempts, this is where most of the resets are gonna come in, because I really need good item world sections to save time. And all the floors are randomly generated here, so there's no telling what I get. I could be screwed by bad geo effects. Also, in the item world, all the enemies are in the same squad, so if you ever get to revenge mode, you can just use squad attack and it'll hit everything except the gatekeeper. Alright, so we didn't get very good luck, so I'm gonna use a very important tech here, which is what I call the sacrifice strategy. So I said revenge mode. Your character gains revenge meter when their allies die. Well, Salia only needs 3 of allies to die to trigger revenge mode guaranteed. So a huge part of the routing will basically involve sacrificing 3 of my allies to force revenge mode, and I will do it a lot during the run. Okay, put that. Let's see. Okay, I need to add Salia to a squad, the foot soldier squad, which increases his stats by 10%. And now we are ready to take on the next stories, this next story map. So adding Salia to the foot soldier squad will allow me to secure a one-hit kill on this nether noble enemy here, and then I will send off my allies to be sacrificed so we can get Salia to revenge mode ASAP. So this Prinny's gonna get no dude in the next turn, hopefully. Okay, yes. Okay, so now he's in revenge mode, so we can use squad attack. Actually, I'm gonna put this up here. Okay, now we use squad attack. So you see how many enemies we killed just with that one attack? It's very, very powerful. Okay, so we took care of all the enemies here. Now, I'm just gonna wait it out for these yellow enemies to kill the rest of the enemies, and they do. Okay, so I got a little bit of preparation to do here. So I'm gonna buy 100 thimbles, which is the weakest fist item, and then we're gonna buy some abilities here: muscle increase, paralysis vaccine, weaken vaccine. Then we're gonna equip this on Salia, muscle increase. It increases the attack stat by 10%. Then I talked to this Prinny here, the orange Prinny, to unlock the next set of story maps.
Where would you like to go, dude?
Okay. So those orange Prinnies, they don't say dude, they say plip.
Let's go.
And we're gonna fight a bunch of them in the stage. This is the last time we'll be fighting these Prinnies though. So we'll next time you see Prinnies, it'll just be regular Prinnies that say dude. Okay, that's the last we'll ever see of these yellow Prinnies. Okay. So, I should mention that every time we go to a new episode, we will fight in a different map. Or different map tile set. So, each netherworld has its own unique gimmick. This netherworld gimmick is that mushrooms are gonna randomly spawn on random places in the map at the end of each turn. So like this one here, that's bad RNG because a mushroom spawned on top of that one brawler and I was unable to hit the brawler with my skill. So that's kind of one of the bad instances of RNG that we can see in this particular episode. Fortunately, it's not too big of a deterrent. We will just lose a turn, basically. Alright, so this stage is we will see the warriors that we made at the beginning of the game put to use. So this stage has some really annoying geo effects, silence and clone. We can't use skills, and clones are going to be made of the enemies every turn, so we just toss him to kill you at the end of the map and get rid of all those effects. Now, so we squad attack one of those enemy groups, and then we just move forward and kill the other enemy group. Nothing too bad. Okay, so here I'm gonna go sacrifice 3 of my allies again, because I need revenge mode ASAP. Okay, so we're in revenge mode, so I'm gonna squad attack these archers, so all of the archers are gone. Typically, I usually target my squad attacks towards range units because, well, range units like to stay away from you, and that's not cool because you're gonna have to chase them down, and usually you're only gonna be able to attack one at a time. Okay, this stage is probably the most dangerous stage in this speedrun because there's this neutral NPC that you actually have to keep alive, and she does attack you. If she dies, however, you don't get a game over. You're forced into a kind of a bad ending, but you do get the option to retry the map as well. So that's the thing I like about this game and speedrunning in general. For this game, if you mess up, you can actually just retry. Obviously, you're not gonna get a PB, but you can still complete the run. Okay, so here I squad attack the imp, which gets rid of 5 enemies, so Kilia's done his job, so I'm just gonna stand here and then have that NPC do her thing. I don't want to get close to her because she might attack Kilia. And there's only 1 enemy left, so she can handle it. Okay, so that's done. Took care of the hardest stage in the game. Okay, so now we're gonna do some grinding here. This is where things start to get a little tougher, so we're gonna do some grinding to compensate. And there's some interesting grinding that's gonna go on here. First, I talked to Prinny to get that character that we needed to protect earlier. Her name's Salia, and she's gonna be a very useful unit later on, or throughout the run rather. She's pretty useful. So by adding somebody to the squad, we unlock this curry. So we make a curry with the cotton candy and the 100 thimbles that we bought earlier. That's going to be important for later. So max our experience and change enemy strength to 16. Then, okay, I'm going to sell my items, buy Tayakis, and then we're going to buy machete, floral spear, and change up Kilia's abilities. So I never talk about the cheat shop actually. The cheat shop is a cool feature that they added in Disgaea D2, and it's been in every Disgaea game since then. So Disgaea 4, Vita, and this game also have that feature. So it allows you to basically adjust enemy strengths at the touch of a button. Before, you had to pass builds in the previous Disgaea games to actually unlock those features, but now the cheat shop lets you just do it on immediately. And you can also adjust how much experience you gain. Okay, so here I'm gonna do this stage. By the way, those enemies were level 53 and I beat them with, I think, a level 20 something Kilia. Oh yeah, I also forgot to buy 100 thimbles, so let's do that. Okay, so make a curry. heal up, and then we're gonna go start the other phase of the grind stage. So the reason I did that previous stage was to unlock a skill called Hellfire Shot. It's a very powerful fire elemental skill that Salia learns, and we're gonna be using that a lot, especially for this stage, because these enemies are weak to fire, and they're also level 99. We're fighting them with a level 48 Salia, but it's no problem. We can actually take these guys on, even with the substantial level difference. Now, level 99 enemies are special in Disgaea games. Level 99 enemies give experience equivalent to that of level 320 enemy due to the way the experience formula works. It's actually not a glitch because it's been a feature that's been around in every single Disgaea game since the first one. So it's if the developers should have known about it for a while now. So if they wanted to patch it, they would have, but they didn't. So it's not a glitch. So that basically means we're gonna be getting a lot of experience for killing these mushrooms. So as you can see, Salia's already level 75 when he was originally level 48 when I brought him to this stage. After I clear the stage, he should be level 100. So all those things that I did earlier, like get the curry, they were actually pretty important for allowing us to beat these guys quickly. When I got the curry, what that does is it gave me 100% critical hit rate, because to make curry, you basically make it out of any items. You can throw in as many items as you want in a curry, and fists just happen to give critical hit rate. 1% critical hit rate for every fist. So I just throw 100 fists in there, in the curry, and then when I use the curry, I'll get 100% crit rate. So yeah, we cleared these guys, and now we're level 100. And it's not even 30 minutes into the run. Okay, so heal up. Then we're gonna buy some stuff here. Brawler Cestus. Buy Falcon Shoes. And we're all set to start the next stage in the story. Alright. So this is basically going to be a big curb stomp for the next few episodes because our level is much higher than these enemies. But that doesn't mean that we can just blindly walk towards the enemies and then just spam skills. There are actually a few specific strategies that I use to on specific stages to clear them fast. Okay, like for this stage, the main trick is to clear out all the red enemies, and then eventually I'll go into revenge mode, and then I'm just gonna attack a green enemy and everything will die. That's because the green enemies are in one squad and the red enemies are in another squad, and the green enemies are much farther apart, so obviously I should squad attack them. So that's that stage. And let's see, for this stage there's a cliff, but I equipped some shoes at the very beginning of the episode before I went to the story, so I can just climb them like it's nothing, no problem. So if I end my turn on that spot, the maids are gonna clump together, so I can just attack them, attack both of them, kill them both. Alright, so this stage I'm just gonna move here, and then these guys are gonna group together. So I have to attack this group because it's got a healer and a chimera, both of which are range units, and the basic principle that I follow is to always, if you can attack multiple range units, do so, because you really don't want them to stick around for too long, otherwise they'll spread out and you're just wasting a lot of time. A lot of time being a few seconds. And a few seconds is a lot in this speed run, considering how many stages we do. Okay, so I squad attack the maids because, well, they're range units. We don't like that. If I didn't squad attack them, I would have had to like spend 3 turns or something silly to beat all of them. Okay. So we don't need to do anything special as far as preparations go, since we did most of the grinding stuff in the previous episodes. I just start the next episode right away. Okay. Here we are introduced to the ninjas. Ninjas have a unique ability. Abilities in this game are called evilities, which stands for evil ability. It's just a pun, nothing more. They're no different than passive abilities. So the ninja's unique ability is that if you're adjacent to them, they have a 50% chance of dodging your attacks. That's not cool, so I move 1 space away before I attack ninjas. Okay, right here, looks like I might get revenge mode on the next turn, which is gonna slow me down a little bit. Yeah, I'll get revenge mode next turn. Okay, a slight time loss there. So, the RNG is a factor. RNG can influence how much revenge meter you start out with, and that does affect a few stages like this one. So if I had not gotten to revenge mode, I could have squad attacked this group and killed off 5 enemies, but instead I have to spend 3 separate turns killing all these enemies. And the reason the revenge meter is like what revenge meter you start out with for each stage is kind of random because of counter attacks. They are random. Okay. Let's see, this stage is where we will try to force revenge mode again. So Kilia's meter is half full, so I just need 2 sacrifices. And we get to revenge mode once both sacrifices have been offered. And yeah, I attack a saber cat and it basically kills off 10 enemies. And then I'll just clean up the ninjas that are remaining. So a lot of the route basically depends on using your 1 squad attack properly. You gotta make it count. Some of the stages we don't use squad attack at all because, well, revenge meter does take some time to build up, and sacrificing units does take some time as well. Okay, so this stage is a stage that I can't really control very well because of there's a second neutral faction that's attacking the main enemy forces, and the way they move is kind of sporadic, so it's can't really do much about them. The one thing I'm gonna try to avoid is having those imps hang out on the left roof, because if they do, that basically means I have to chase them down, and that costs a lot of time if they end up on the left roof. Fortunately they didn't, so that takes care of that. I'm just gonna use normal attacks on this guy, and that's that. Alright. So this is Bloodis. He's a recurring boss that we'll be fighting a lot throughout this game. And the way we handle Bloodis is pretty simple. We just swap our weapon to a fist and then we just punch him to death. He's pretty weak to fist weapon, so just equipping a fist is going to increase your damage output a lot against him. And fists also have a higher counter attack chance as well, so that's good. Okay, let's see. Gonna get some abilities for Killia, Shaking Excitement, and then these two. Mana Lover, okay. Salia needs Tough Guy, Mean Guy, and Poison Vaccine. Then we're gonna go equip Shaking Excitement. Shaking Excitement is an ability that we get for ranking up a warrior subclass to 4. And what that does is it will give Killia 3% stats for every single enemy on the map, which is a lot because later stages we're gonna fight a lot of enemies, sometimes as high as 40. Usually 20, 15, that's about on par on how many enemies we'll fight. And I should talk about subclasses, I guess. Every class in this game, every generic class in this game has a subclass associated with it. So you can have any of your party members change into a subclass as long as they've unlocked the class, and you can rank up the subclass. You just rank up the subclass by killing enemies, basically. And when your subclass ranks up, you can unlock abilities that are related to that subclass rank. That's all. Okay, here I got some bad luck with in the previous stage. I don't want to activate revenge mode at all in the previous stage because I actually needed to be as full as possible entering this stage when I start the stage, so I can get to revenge mode as soon as possible. Okay, we're in revenge mode, so I'm gonna squad attack this gunner here. What that does is there's a thief that's hanging out on the cliff to the right, and we just killed her. So it's like she was never there. And that's not the only time I'm gonna be doing that. There are gonna be several instances where I do that, just kill enemies that you never really see with the squad attack. Okay, these bears, these bear enemies, they're nothing special. They just have really high HP. That's all. Okay, so I want to make sure I attack these armor knights before they get a turn to attack me, because if they get a turn to attack me, they're gonna end their turn usually by defending, and that basically reduces the damage that they take, which is not good because armor knights are the tank units of this game. And well, if they defend, they're gonna be like a 3-hit kill as opposed to a 2-hit kill or 1-hit kill. Okay, so coming up next is another fight with our friend Bloodis. So let's see. There's a brawler group and a group with Valkyries and Chimeras and bears, and then there's Bloodis himself. I'm just gonna try to group these guys as much as possible. Well, squad attack. I just squad attack these guys and then take care of the mages, so every enemy but Bloodis is gone, so I just do the fist strat and counterattack him. You can save time on Bloodis fights if you get a lot of counterattacks, but they're random, so who knows when we'll actually end up getting a lot. Okay. Okay, use the curry here, and let's see. That's it. So I need the curry because I need the crit rate, and I've routed it so that the critical hit rate is gonna matter for. I've routed it so that I use the curry for the stages that it's really needed in. After that, we won't really need any more curry because it won't matter the crit rate at least. Because revenge mode will be abused a lot. Okay, this map has a really cool trick here. Okay, kill these two, and then I kill this imp here. Alright, so I stay here. I want to get into revenge mode. Should get it here. Okay, squad attack this imp. So that right there was the demonstration of the Armor Knight's special ability. If I did it right, I should win in the next couple turns. So Armor Knights have the ability to take a hit to defend units from anywhere on the map, and the Armor Knight basically took the squad attack for that one imp, and basically the squad attack hit the Armor Knight, which I wanted to happen, and that ended up killing a couple of units that were on the very end of the map. So just like that thief earlier, it's like they were never there. Here we're gonna use do some throwing action. This map has an effect out of bounds. Anything you throw outside of the map dies instantly. So right there I just threw a couple succubi out of the map because they are both in one squad, and I basically eliminated the succubus squads that way. Okay. So we have one squad of succubi left. Okay, so we're in revenge mode, so I'm gonna squad attack this group and it'll kill off every other succubus enemy. Doesn't matter if the clone effect was active, the clones are still gonna be part of the same squad, which is what allows me to do that and kill them off with a single squad attack. Okay, this stage is pretty basic. I just warp to different area and then just attack each of the enemy groups with my AoE skills. The curry critical hit rate allows me to basically one-shot these groups. Whoops, okay. Sometimes it won't one-shot though, but it's fine. Counterattacks usually do the job. Okay, that takes care of that. And here's Bloodis again, so we're gonna equip a fist and then just punch him. He's got a lot more HP this time, so he'll last a little bit longer, but eventually counterattacks and punches will prevail. Because we are a lot higher level than he is. Okay, now here we need to do an equipment upgrade. Whoops, Hornet Pike. And we're gonna buy Shell Shield and a Bravery Belt. And that's pretty much it.
Where would you like to go, dude?
Okay. Too long didn't read is basically Evil Emperor takes over Netherworlds. Guys want revenge. That's basically it in a nutshell. Okay, so this episode introduces the Wrestler class. The Wrestlers are some of the more aggravating units in the speedrun, or just in this game in general. The reason for that is they have a skill that can actually lift your character, which is no bueno because if they lift your character, they basically lose a turn. We don't want to lose turns. Actually, we lose 2 turns because the wrestler will spend a turn lifting your character, and then No, wait, they lose a turn, yeah. They'll spend a turn lifting your character and then they'll throw your character as a follow-up. Okay, I don't want to use that Prinny. We'll need him. Okay, so this map is why I bought this equipment upgrade, because the geo effects are attack plus 50% and defense minus 50%, so we take a lot of damage here if we actually do get hit. Our high stats allow us to dodge most of the attacks, but if we get unlucky and get hit too many times, we do have a real chance of dying. So just a few attacks here and our health is already down by about a third. Fortunately, all the effects allow me to one-shot most of the enemies, so I guess it's not too big of a deal as long as we don't get hit too much.
Let's go.
Okay, so this stage is pretty basic. You have these Slumber Cats and Nekomatas. Okay, when I go to squad attack, I just squad attack on Archer and all the archers die. So I just have to fight the cat enemies, the Nekomatas and Slumber Cats with AoE skills, and we're done. Okay, this stage we're gonna do some magic change. I guess I never talk about magic change. Magic change, okay, we need geese. Magic change is basically a feature where all units in this game are either monsters or humans, and monster characters can magic change or combine with a human character to become the human character's weapon. Oh shoot, well, okay, let's see, I need to magic change both of these guys again. Okay, I need to kill all these enemies with them magic change because I have to rank them, their subclasses up. That's why I changed those two specific unit subclasses earlier, so I could actually rank them up with the in this map by killing the enemies. Okay, so just gonna kill the wrestlers, and then this guy should be killed off with a regular attack. Okay, so did lose a few seconds due to lack of counter attack on that last unit when I was trying to rank up those two monsters, but that's fine. Okay, so the boss, like I said, well, I don't think I said what this effect is. This Netherworld's effect is fire resistance is lowered, so basically everything's gonna take a lot of damage from Hellfire Shot, which is fire elemental. So I just use Hellfire Shot to clean up everything. No big deal. Okay, this is where we're going to do our second grind. So I need to rank up those two monsters so I can clear this quest here to unlock a Magic Knight. Now I'm gonna go buy a sword and the weakest gun, which is actually pretty important that I buy that particular gun. I'll explain later. Bravery belt. Okay. Then, okay, I'm gonna make a safety save here because I need to pass this particular build that is pretty stubborn about passing. This build unlocks the Martial Trial, which is the grinding spot of the map. This particular section. Oh, nice, 2 tries. I tried a run yesterday. I mean, a little bit before this run, and it took me like 10 tries to, or 12 tries just to pass that build, so it can be very fickle. Okay, I need to arrange my level. Okay, there we go. Okay, need, let's see, tough, mean, mana, workshop, and I guess that's fine. Okay, experience max and level to 1, and I believe we are good to go.
Where would you like to go, dude?
That's the other big RNG question mark of this speed run. You can lose a lot of time just to that one stage. Okay, so put vacuum slice X here, and then Salia. Okay, these enemies are level 99 again, so we do benefit from the experience exploit, the level 99 experience trick. And my specific weapon setup is to basically guarantee 1-hit kills on these guys with vacuum slice X. So I'm using a sword and a water pistol, the weakest gun. The reason I need that water pistol is because the water pistol has a special thing, a special property where if you equip it, it'll turn your non-elemental attacks into water attacks, and these guys just happen to be pretty weak to water. And I chose a sword because they're weak to sword, so the damage kind of stacks up there, allowing me to kill them in one hit reliably. Okay, so I need to clear the stage 14 times because I need to rank up the subclass of Salia's warrior subclass to 4, so she can unlock Shaking Excitement as well. That's going to be important because we're going to be using it a lot. We really need that ability. So as you can see, this is our main grinding map, and we're already level 220 with Kilia, and he was like level 110 earlier. So we're leveling up pretty quickly with this method. There is also some randomness in the drops that we get at the end of each stage clear. You do have a chance of getting some better weapons for Salia and Kilia. If that happens, then good. If not, then it's no big deal. We do save a little bit of time though if we do get these weapons. Although not a lot. But again, in a run this short, every second really counts. Okay, 2 more clears. So as you can see, we're clearing this stage pretty quickly. It's like 13-15 seconds per clear. So 1 more clear and then we should be good to go to start the next phase. Okay, do we have 14? Yeah, 14. Alright. Let's see. Let me just check something real quick. Okay, Warriors 4, that's good. And let's see. Ooh, the fist. Okay, so I need to equip Kilia with this fist here. Got 2 fists. That's nice. Now we need to equip Salia with this, all this offensive-based gear. She needs all the attacks she can get because her attack growth is not as high as Kilia's is. Alright, I think that should be good.
Where would you like to go, dude?
Oh, wait, I forgot to change the cheat shop stuff back. Good thing I remembered. Okay, okay. That is actually very important that I lower that 1 difficulty. Because it'll, if I keep it at anything higher than 0, it'll prevent me from getting 1-hit kills on things. Alright. Move it up here and then go here. So Salia gets a 3x3 AoE skill called Pinnacle Meteor, and that's what we're going to be using to clear these guys for most of this episode. I should mention with skills, even though I have animations off, they added a feature in starting with this guy D2 where if you use a skill and you haven't seen the skill animation for the first time, the skill animation will still play out regardless. It's because they added some records where there is a... It keeps the records of skill animations that you've seen. So that's why they actually forced that to happen. Okay. These zombies were defending, so that's why a squad attack wouldn't kill them, but let's see. It should be killed off now. See, we killed off a lot of zombies. Okay, that takes care of that. When using squad attack, the general rule is you want to kill as many things as possible with that one squad attack. Doesn't matter if you hit a lot of enemies with squad attack but don't kill anything. You don't kill any of them, you've basically wasted the squad attack. It's better to kill one enemy with the squad attack than kill 0. You always want squad attack to kill. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. I should mention that this particular speedrun is a byproduct of a much bigger project I'm working on with this game. Ultimately, I would like to do more optimized post-game runs of this game because this game is built to go fast, essentially. But I feel like post-game content for Disgaea games don't really get much love as far as a speedrun setting goes, and I feel like you're missing out if you don't do post-game content of Disgaea games. So this is the Switch version, and this version actually does have trophies that are equivalent to the PS4 release of this game. It's actually an in-game feature. And I actually have done an all trophies run of this game, and it wasn't a very optimized run, but it ended up being around 11 hours 30 minutes. I would like to do that run someday, do that run again someday, but I think I'm going to try to optimize other subsets of that run first, like this one. So I believe personally that you can actually platinum the game and get all the trophies in 9 hours. That's what I believe, but it's gonna take a lot of work to get there because I'm pretty much the only person who's actually working on this speed game for this game, because not a lot of players have actually played most of the post-game content in Disgaea games, but I have actually played every single Disgaea game and beaten every single post-game boss, so I have turned to speedrunning this game as, I guess, a ways of trying to play the game a little more differently. Okay, so I need these 2 skills, and then I need to power up her Braveheart. Okay, now swap this here. Okay, we're all set. So we are pretty much ready to break this game wide open. Okay.
Let's go.
Alright, change Braveheart up here, and nope. Okay, Braveheart. Okay. Oh shoot. That's a bad damage roll there.
Let's end this quick.
Okay. Yeah, we got a bad damage roll on the boss, unfortunately, so we gotta do it again. Okay, that's what should have happened the first time. Okay, so what happened there was, in that particular map, Salia unlocked her full power, and she unlocks what's called an overload. Basically, an overload is a special ability that you can use when you're in revenge mode. and it doesn't actually take up your action, which is nice. So her overload happens to be a full screen map attack. Yeah. So basically we're just gonna be exploiting this for most of the remaining stages. But oh shoot. Okay. Okay, that should be fine. Yeah. Oh, did I forget to? Yeah, I did. Okay, that's why. I forgot to equip her abilities that actually make this possible. Okay, there we go. Now we should be able to do this properly. That's why I wasn't one-shotting the boss earlier, because I didn't have those two abilities that I got for Salia. We need those two abilities to go fast in this game for the remaining episodes. Alright, it should go very smoothly this time now that we have the proper setup. Setup is very key in this run. If you mess up your setup, you're losing a lot of time. Okay, that's what should happen, and that's gonna be what's gonna be happening a lot. So yeah, Usalia's Overload is a full screen map attack, and it's a very powerful one. You basically just power up the attack such that she can one-shot anything on the map. So the basic setup is to send out 3 sacrifices and then offer them to the enemies, and then force revenge mode. We can, with this stage, we can actually do that strategy because these enemies like to throw the explosive barrels at you, which doesn't raise the revenge meter. So yeah, we're just gonna have to do this the normal way. But yeah, the basic strategy for setting that overload up is to sacrifice your allies, 3 of your allies, to get her into revenge mode. Units have different revenge gauge gains depending on which unit. Salia actually takes 5 sacrifices normally to get to revenge mode, but I can make it 3 units to sacrifice with that fighting instinct ability. And I have limited units to work with, so I can't just go heal, because sacrifice them and heal, because that wastes time. Okay, attack the boss.
Let's end this quick. What's my name?
So a lot of these later stages are just going to be optimizing our first turns. It's all about optimizing the first turns, which means we want to get revenge mode as soon as possible, which means we have to set up our how we throw our allies. We gotta set up how we throw our allies so that they'll all die in one turn to the enemies. Okay, so here I'm gonna accept this quest here, and then clear that to unlock the Celestial Host, and then we're gonna go upgrade our equipment here. Gonna buy Chimera DNA and Leafy Fan. Then we're gonna make 5 of the Celestial Host class. Celestial Host is a very good support unit. So their special ability is that if they're adjacent to a unit, they will power up that unit. And Salia has an ability that for every ally that's adjacent to her, she powers up. So that's why I surround Salia with 4 units before I use the overload, because surrounding her with units powers her up.
I will never run
So yeah, like I said, optimizing your first turns is very important in this from here on out. Okay, not doing a very good job here, but we'll manage. I'm pretty sure I lost at least 10 seconds from that, but that's fine. Okay, need another turn. Yeah, we're not gonna be, for most of these maps, we're not gonna be seeing most of the enemies because they're gonna just get decimated by the overload. Okay, so let's see.
It's my turn. I will. Yeah. Here you go.
Great.
Yeah. Leave it to me, Blitz. Yeah. I just want to sit back for a little bit. Me too. Yeah.
Let me see. Is the problem on my end?
Let's go.
Okay, so let's see. This stage. This stage has a boss in it. Let me just see what's going on here. The stream looks fine on my end. Do we want to wait? Or should I restart the stream? Okay. Stream here. I'll keep going. Tell me if there's any like really bad issues. I mean, it looks okay on my end. So should I wait? High spirit. Looks fine on my end. I don't know if it's on high spirit's end or not. Like OBS, on OBS it looks fine on my end. Alright, should I keep going or do we want to pause it for a little bit? Okay, should I keep going or not? Somebody tell me. Alright, I'll wait. Is the timer stopped, by the way? Funny thing is, I probably beat the estimate to meet the estimate. Like, the characters should be moving. Okay, I see it and it stopped. Ugh. Alright, I guess I can wait. Give me the when you think it's all good, give me the go ahead. I guess I could talk a little more about the setup, I suppose. So the setup at this point of the game is to basically force revenge mode by killing or sacrificing 3 of my ally units. And then celestial host, and then die. Have her use Braveheart on herself, which will increase her attack, and then we use the overload to blow up Braveheart on herself, most things, which will increase her attack, and then we use the overload to blow up. And as far as optimizing this run, there's a few. We don't have to actually go all out. We don't have to actually go all out. That's the all out setup. So when we go, you can save a little bit of time. You can kind of like reduce the number of units you send out to save a little bit of time. Alright, we got, let's see, this was the last, like, map of episode 12, so that means we have 21 stages left. The Disgaea 5 run is still going on, but unfortunately the stream has some issues which we're trying to fix. Yeah, my timer says 1 hour 15 minutes. It looks fine now. I think the stream looks fine on my end at least. My timer says, let's see, my timer says 1 hour 16 minutes and 45 seconds. Okay, are we good to go? My best time is 78 minutes on this run. Okay, we're gonna go. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so in this map, this is where Salia awakens his powers and his dark side basically takes over him for a little bit. So we have infinite turns. So we can just go up to these enemies and just destroy them in one hit with these skills, and that's it for that stage. No big deal. Okay, don't worry. A lot of the upcoming episodes can be cleared in like 3 minutes. Just to give you an idea of how fast this is gonna be. Alright. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we could still beat the estimate as long as I don't screw up too much. Okay, so oh shoot, we got a bad damage roll, so I'm gonna have to restart. That can happen when doing this overload thing. Sometimes you will get what's called a nick, and if that happens, the enemies can usually live with a sliver of HP. A nick is kind of like a reverse critical hit. Well, you basically deal reduced damage there. So we don't really want to see a lot of nicks. They are not very frequent, so hopefully we're not gonna see. I have my timer on, it says 1 hour 18 minutes, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so a lot of this optimizations in this particular area is just setting up my sacrifices so that they can all be killed in one hit. So like this, I line up my sacrifices and they all die in one attack, basically. Okay, so here again, we're gonna line up our allies in a line formation. And we're gonna surround Salia with angels or celestial hosts and then overload. Okay. Here, this is where Salia awakens his overload. His overload is pretty cool. It allows him to move 3 times in one action. Or 3 actions in one turn, rather. The old route for this game used Salia almost exclusively with Salia as support. And that was fine for a while, but the most I could really pull with that particular route consistently was an hour 40 minutes. I recently refined that the Salia overload strat in September, so now the run is so it's a lot more consistent. Okay, so here, oh shoot, I actually need Salia for this one because he's slightly faster, but Salia does work, he's just a little slower. Okay, again we got a nick, so unfortunately we're gonna have to go kill this enemy. Yeah, Salia's actually faster for that particular stage because squad attack will hit every single unit on that map. So here we're back to using Salia. Salia would optimally be used for that one episode. I mean, the previous stage. But here it's all Salia. stage in the game because we fight nothing, but you can probably guess what's gonna happen.
No, dude.
No, dude!
Smell you later.
It's my turn.
I'm gonna eat you, dude.
Okay, here I spread out my units because
You.
if I don't, those wrestlers can live with Salia, and that's not cool.
What's my name?
Leave it to me, Clint. Power to protect everyone.
Also, I equip a leafy fan.
Leave it to me, Clint.
Leaf fan is a pretty cool weapon. My elemental attacks wind element, and a lot of the wind in the episodes, in the previous 2 episodes, I should say. Okay. Let's see, Lamia's coil right here.
Where would you like to go, dude?
Okay, let's see here.
Yeah, dude.
Let's go. Me too.
Here I'm gonna play it safe and buff up with Braveheart before I overload because I do not want any enemy to be alive because that stage had base panels which spawn enemies every turn. So if I get a nick, I pretty much have to retry for that stage. So yeah, as far as this game goes, I really like the speed run for this game because it basically it's not a glitchy run at all. There's no RNG manip. We're just playing the game the way it was meant to be played by abusing all the mechanics of the game and just going fast with it. That is basically embodies what the, I guess, purest form of RNG speedrunning is. Alright, let's see.
I'll get super reckless. What's my name?
Please keep me by your side.
How could this?
Leave it to me, Clint.
So yeah, that's pretty much how all these stages are gonna go. It's ridiculous. This is a game that is basically designed for speedrunning because it's got so many mechanics. It's just one big routing problem, basically. Just finding out how to work all these mechanics together in such a way that you can clear stages with finesse like this. That's kind of what I'm looking for in an RPG speedrun. Okay, here we're gonna use Salia instead of Salia because Salia is actually kind of faster.
Let's go.
It's my turn. Yeah.
So here we're gonna get to see what Salia's overload does.
Stay in the back for a little bit.
So when we do that, he can basically move 3 times in 1 turn.
Ultimate demon technique. Final. You are pretty cool. Okay.
Okay, we are actually on the last episode of this story. It's got 5 more stages and they're a little bit more complicated than the previous episodes. Because we actually have to do other things, other subtle things, I should say.
Let's go. Great.
but they're very important in saving time. Alright, let's see. We're gonna just toss this guy here and toss this guy here. Alright. So, oh shoot, never put out my sacrifices. That's bad. I mean, I never put out Salia. That's not what I should be doing here. Okay.
Leave it to me, Blitz.
Alright, let's see. I need those 2 units to die. Okay, good. Okay, we should have used the Braveheart there, because we missed a damage roll on those enemies, so I have to retry again. That's kind of the risk that you take when trying to go for a less than max setup. You have to deal with damage rolls, actually denying you the full. Okay, so we're gonna do this properly this time. Okay, let's hope that doesn't happen again for the next few maps. Okay, so right here we're gonna do something very subtle but something very important. The way I lined up my characters there, my sacrifices there, it basically made it so that those horsemen enemies did not use a skill that takes a really long time. It's called 13 Knights. Fortunately, we didn't get the one hit kill on everything because we got a nick on one of those Dark Knights. So we just had to use Salia to clean everything up. Okay, let's hope this doesn't happen again. We've been having a little bad luck with the damage rolls. This is gonna be one of the last few stages where getting the full screen clear is important. Okay, good, we got it. Yes, Disgaea 5 is actually on PS4. It's actually on sale right now on PSN actually for 20 bucks. I think the sale ends tomorrow.
All men are my servants.
Okay, so this is the boss, or Void. This is the map where we fight Void. So we can actually kill him now. But we have to throw all these units up to here so we can lift this horseman and toss him away. So the reason I need to toss that horseman away is because if I don't, the next turn he's gonna magic change with Void, which is gonna reduce the amount of damage that he takes, and we don't want that because we just want to kill him in one turn. If the horseman magic changes with Void, we can't do that at all. Okay, so we gotta sit through all these skills. Alright, so we're gonna do the setup here, do the overload. Okay, now it's just Salia and Void. Every other enemy's gone. Alright, so here we're gonna use this overload. I should also mention that with Salia, when she activates her overload, she has a unique ability that lets her have a infinite support attack range. By that I mean when another character attacks an enemy, then she's gonna attack the enemy. She's gonna do a regular attack on the enemy, and it's got infinite range. You can basically do it from anywhere on the map. Okay, so this is the final boss. The way the final boss works is there are 4 crystal enemies called bits. They give her defense, so we can't actually do damage to the boss unless we kill at least one of the bits. Here we're gonna kill all of the bits using her overload here, and then using a squad attack to kill these bits. Okay, all the bits are gone now, so we just have the boss left, and hopefully I can kill the boss in one turn to get a skip. If we kill the boss in one turn, we can basically skip seeing her special attack, which takes a while. It's like 10 seconds. As I said before, it's really important in a run like this. Okay, no, we didn't get the one-hit kill, so we're gonna see her skill. Yeah, it does take a long time. See, it's basically like Knights of the Round in Final Fantasy VII. So unfortunately, we didn't get the damage range on her, but we did manage to finish her off, and that's the run done. So that's basically time right there. So yeah, if it wasn't for the unfortunate stream issues, I would say if you want to start off with the Disgaea game, I would say 5 is the most user-friendly, because this has pretty much the most user-friendly options. It's very, very fast for a strategy RPG that's supposed to be notorious for grinding. Like, you can actually do everything in this game in under 20 hours. Under 20 hours. So yeah, that's basically Disgaea 5. If you want to see more of this game, I do stream it regularly. I do route it. I'm still working on routing the other post-game categories of this game. So a run I'm gonna work on is unlocking the Carnage dimension, which is basically one of the post-game areas. I have it down to like 3 hours right now, but I think I can get it down to 2 hours 30 minutes. And that's something I'll be working on next week. Ultimately, I would like to do a run where I kill all the bosses, like the hard bosses, like Ball, Carnage Ball, and get all the trophies, that sort of thing. But yeah, well, that is basically gonna be it for me. Thank you for having me, and I guess I will turn it over to the next runner.